So you start gradually from a very small, low-hanging fruit objective and make it so insignificant in terms of money that it won't be hard for you. And you gradually build that up. This is why I tell everybody, you're not going to get good at trading your first year. You're not going to get good at trading in your first 2 years. It's going to take you 5 to 10 years to get really good at trading. What's my definition of good? You know yourself. You know what's going to keep you from blowing up, and you avoid it. You soberly consider the risks that are involved, not just what's the maximum I can make here. See, I guarantee you, if we were doing a poll, like if we were in a live event and I gave out this handout in the beginning, it was a questionnaire, real quick questionnaire, and then you had to drop it off in a box before I got up on the stage, start talking to everybody. It would be, what are you more likely to feel impulsive about? Going after the big money or fear of the losing trade? You're going to be impulsive about making the big money because that's what you've been. Me, every other educator out there, every author, every YouTuber, any influencer, we all do the same thing. We all talk a good game about you can make money doing this, but not all of us talk about the perils of losing money. I do that, and a couple other large name people do it too. But from my knowledge, I have never seen anybody break it down to a point where it's humble beginnings and you start there. I didn't learn that from somebody else. I had to figure that stuff out. And I abandoned it foolishly and just started going after Lambo lifestyle. I want to have the Lux lifestyle, luxury. Everything Report magazine, that's what I was aiming for. Not, this is the number of pips and points I can get in the marketplace consistently, and I'm going to use money management to do all the heavy lifting. I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm a math guy, science guy, and I got lost in the money. That's what happens, folks. It's exactly what happens. And I know some of you are going to think to yourselves, well, I'm not going to be into that. ICT was a fool. We all get bit by that bug. Greed, man, it's a venom that you just don't understand until you feel it. And the problem is, you don't even know you're under its influence until it's too late. Ruin. Then you're like, oh, if I just would have realized at that moment. And yeah, every time I blew my account, I know the exact moment I should have not done the very thing. But yet I still did it. Because I had no structure. I had no way of determining what it was that I was aiming for. And it's not just a dollar amount. What are you striving for? What is it you're aiming for your trading? What's the goal? What's the reasons why you're doing all this stuff? If it's just to make money, okay, how much? How are you gonna earn that much money? What is it you're trying to do? If you looked at trying to make 1% a day, you'll find out that 1% is pretty easy. And what happens is you get greedy because you know you can get that 1%, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to get it. Now, to make 1% one time a week, that is amazing results, folks. Okay, so before I go any further, just know that if that's all you do, you're killing it. Okay? Don't let these guys out here that are trying to tell you they make 20%, 50R trades every single week. Okay, because believe me, they would put me on welfare if they were making that kind of money. And they would be proving it. They don't. If they're making that kind of money, why are they trading 0.5 lots on their Forex trades? You've been trading like this and making 50R and 200R trades for 2 years, and you're still beneath one full standard lot? Come on now. It doesn't hold up. The logic doesn't equate to them telling the truth. So you have to have that in mind as a trader. You have to know where the bullshit is, draw a line in it, and say, okay, this is what's going to get me in trouble if I aim to do those things. If I try to duplicate what I see other people doing on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on ICT videos or whatever, that's not you. You need to go back to your roots. Where are you at right now? Where do you live? How do you live? What do you have to pay? Because those bills, whether you watch an ICT video, whether you learn from me or someone else, those bills are coming every single month. That end needs to be met. Now, you have to work your job or jobs, maybe going to school and work your job. You have expenses. They have to be met. You're struggling right now, but that is a temporary thing. That's temporary. It's hard to look past it. When I first got with my wife, when I felt confident, because in the beginning I did not tell her what I was doing and how I had what I had. And you can look down on me all you want, but I got burned early on with bad relationships. So she was a humble girl, and I was attracted to her. Over time, once I trusted her, once we had our second child, then she knew who I was. It didn't change her. I have a good one. And that's how she gets the rewards of a queen, because she didn't expect it in the beginning. Chase me because of that. There's a life lesson in that. Both sides. Her visibility was limited. Because when I first told her what I have and what I can do and what I earn, she didn't believe me. And then I sat her down in front of the computer screens and I said, now watch what I do here. She said, that can't be real money. And then it was transferred to the bank. And then we went to the bank and I did a withdrawal and she saw it. And she said, this is not your money. I said, you're right. It's not my money. It came from other people doing the wrong thing and they lost. I won. Now it is mine. It's in my hand. So I'm claiming this money now as mine, but it's not my money because they lost it fair and square. They made a decision. Their liquidity was my gain. And she's not impressed to this day. She understands it. She understands that money comes from that, but she's not impressed by it. So again, that gets back to the root cause of why you're doing this. Are you doing this to make ends meet? Are you trying to do this to impress your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your spouse, their in-laws? Somebody else outside yourself? Because if you're doing that, I promise you, you're going to do things recklessly. You're going to try to live up to some expectation that nobody's asked you to live up to. Ooh, wish somebody would have told me that. Because when I was 20, I was trying to do shit that nobody asked me to do. But in my mind, because I wanted to feel significant, I did it. I would overspend on dumb shit for people that didn't deserve it, didn't even love me, didn't care about me, weren't really my friends. But I was doing those things instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to focus on making ends meet. What's my goals? What's my purpose of operating this week, this trading day? What's my goal? What's my goal for the week? What's my goal for the month? What's the goal for this quarter? I wasn't doing that. I was looking at how much can I afford to trade? Because that's what I'm trading with. All in, all the time. And that's stupidity. And that's also the reason why I wasn't afraid when the account would get blown. I'm 20, I got plenty of years. You know, I got all the time in the world. It's just going to take me a little bit harder and I'll get another job delivering pizza, work all day in the evening time. I work at Domino's and I deliver pizza. Do a magic trick at the door for the kids. Here's $5. Thank you very much. I only got to get 20 deliveries like that. And I got $100. Well, do that 6 days a week. It wasn't long. I had enough money to put in their account and I'm trading again. So that didn't deter me. That didn't cause me to fear doing the all-in type of trading, because I knew what I was doing was reckless. I was making that decision to do it instead of being sober-minded about it. Not that I was drunk, because I never drank alcohol, but I was drunk in the sense that I needed this to be a big play all the time and not realizing all the time I was wasting. If I just would have did small incremental gains, I would have grown more accustomed to and acclimated myself to the pressures of holding these big positions. You know, trading 50 contracts of Chicago Board Trade wheat on the day where they removed the limits. It was in July. and there was an issue with the crops, and this thing went nuts. And if I just would have had another cent, maybe a cent and a half, it would have stopped me out, and I would have owed money to the brokerage firm, money that I didn't have. But it went in my favor, and I got out too soon, too short of where it really went that day. But I dodged a bullet that day, and that was the one that scared the hell out of me, because I was like, that could have really ruined me. But you live, you learn. And I had to start thinking about, what is it I'm doing? Am I just in here playing lottery? Because that's really what I was doing. I was trying to win the lottery. And you can't do that and last long in this business, because the lottery wins don't come like that. There's books written by people that, I made this much money, I had a windfall victory over here. Windfalls are not consistent. They're not likely to happen for you. They're less likely to ever happen for you than anything else. So you have to lower your expectations and have no fear about that. Don't give a shit about these people on the internet that are lying to you, saying they're killing it, they're doing this, they're trading 10 times better than that guy, but they got no fucking proof. None of that stuff. They talk out their ass. The whole time you're worrying about all that stuff. You're listening to all that stuff instead of just doing what it is that makes the most sense. The least that can be done consistently. And letting time and money management, the compounding interest of doing the same little thing over and over and over again, that's easy to accomplish. 5 handles in the E-mini S&P, 5 pips or 25 pips a week in Forex. Oh man, I could do so much better than that. Okay, why aren't you retired? The same kids that talked to me, that was to me in 2019 on Twitter, want to bark at me, and they're trying to hawk a system. Dude, why aren't you rich? Why aren't you proving you're making your money? Why can't you go out there and show a live account? You're showing MT4 screenshots. These people are constantly distracting you, and you're buying into that bullshit. You're being distracted, and you're not sitting down, and you're not working on yourself. You're not minding your own business. This business is not going to run itself. You have to run it. And if you're worried about Tom, Dick, and Harry, okay, and dollar menu mentorships over here, you're not going to learn how to do this for yourself. You're going to flounder and fail. And you're going to sit there and think to yourself, man, how long have I been doing this? And if you start doing that, and you start taking inventory, and you don't include all the bullshit that you're looking at and wasting time worrying about keeping up with the Joneses over here, this one's saying that they can do that, but they ain't got any proof. Why are you wasting time? If you have not realized that by looking around now, the world is vastly changing. It's so quickly changing. Every week, something new's coming up, and it isn't good. And your job right now, that's not fucking guaranteed. You have no idea how hard it's going to be. And if you don't put your nose into the charts and start studying, I promise you, you will be typing emails to me saying, I wish I would have fucking listened. Because I had people doing that the last 2 years. And I don't want to receive those kind of emails. They hurt because you didn't listen to me. I'm not asking you to give me anything. Don't pay me nothing. You don't send me nothing. Nothing. But you better fucking listen, because if you don't, I promise you, you are not going to be prepared. Your jobs are not guaranteed. Your income is not guaranteed. One of your jobs, say you and your spouse are working. One of you might get sick. One of you might get ill, not be able to work. Can you keep that up and not lose your home, your cars, your health insurance, care for your children? This is a wake-up call. I'm doing this because I give a shit. I know there's going to be a lot of you that aren't going to be prepared for this. But if I do what I'm doing here and you don't do it, I I have a clean conscience. You were given detailed instructions. You were talked to by someone. I care about you. I don't know you, but I care about you. All of you are on my mind all the time, because I know you're out there fucking around, looking at stupid shit, wasting your time, and you're going to hurt yourself. Wasting time and money. Here, right here, the guy talking to you, I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you my experience. I'm holding your hand. But you got to start doing the work, because if you don't, shit's going to be turned upside down real soon. And what you think you're able to do right now to earn a living and pay for things to meet these ends, it's going to get harder. And that should scare the shit out of you, because it does me, and I'm a multimillionaire. I'm not fearful because I know who I believe in. I know my needs will be met. But I'm fearful for my family members that aren't as equipped as I am. I'm constantly bailing out family members, helping them do things. Friends, the same way. I love these people. I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I'm the first to offer it. They're not coming to me asking for it. I'm blessed to be in that situation. That's my nature. That's not virtue signaling. I'm telling you, this is something I have dealt with my entire life. Seeing other people lack and doing what I can. And some people I can't help. Like some students that come to me, they say they do all the, and they show 10 pages in a journal. It's not work. I'm doing it. That's just writing down what you heard me say. Not going into the charts and finding it yourself and then journaling that. That's the work. That's the boring part. That takes a lot of time. It eats up a lot of time. Your football time, your boys out time, your girls night out time. And for me, it was my own family. Not going to soccer games and baseball games. Missing out on that. Making sure that I had enough to take care of everybody. Because I was focused on ends. I was already rich. But I know that money can go like that. And you need to get yourself prepared. And you start by having very easy objectives. And let compound interest do that magic. Trust me, folks. You don't believe me? No problem. Do a spreadsheet. I don't care what you start with. Do $100. The math is there. I don't think you should be trading with $100. I mean, go back and change that, because I know I've said many times in the past where a lot of people go in and say, oh, I'm going to open up with $100. I'm going to get rich. No. You got to be properly funded. What is that? I think, honestly, if you're trading less than $10,000, you're not equipped. Not equipped to do what needs to be done. You're going to gamble. You're going to do things, and when you take a loss, it's going to feel like, oh, I'm so close to not having enough money, and you'll trade recklessly. Now, $10,000, I'm talking that amount of money with micros. What? I could trade $30 at AMP. Yeah, I know you can. I can too. But that's stupid. Go into this with very easy, low-hanging fruit objectives. Something so small that you can hit easily. And don't let anybody else out there tell you, oh, you're not good. That's not enough. Oh, you suck. You're never going to get rich doing that. These same people, I'm promising you this, they're the same people that bark at me. They're working a job, folks. They're working a job. They're talking on their text and their little Twitter between their oil changing, okay, before scrubbing the floor at Walmart. Okay, they're all working. They're all working. And they're critiquing you and me. And we're out here doing it. We're calling it. I'm trading it. You're trading it. You're seeing all these other people get there getting funded. They're getting their scratch. They're not sitting on their ass. They're doing the work. They know it isn't going to fall on their lap. They're putting the work in. And you know what? Kudos. Well fucking done. That's the right thing. That's the right thing. Not sitting around just watching videos. Man, you're never going to get this doing that. You have to study. You have to dig in. You got to go into those charts and say, you know what? I'm going to defer all my wants and all my extra things, my fun stuff. I'm putting that on the side. I got time for that right now. I got business to work right now. I have a business to run. I'm building an empire. I don't have time for all these people in my life dragging me down, giving me some bullshit I got to worry about. You got your own life to worry about. I'm worrying about mine. I got a family to take care of. I have a legacy to build. I have to prepare. There's some shit coming. There's a storm coming. I got to make sure I'm ready for it. There's got to be a fire under your ass. If it's not there, check out. Turn off. Don't come back to this channel. Don't look at me. Don't look at any of my videos. Don't do any of that shit, because the only thing you're going to do is going to piss and moan that it doesn't work for you because you didn't do the work. Because there's all these people around you, they're proving it. And none of them regret it. They all say one thing: I wish I would have listened sooner. And this is one of those series that I want you all to know going in. This is some really real shit. You have to get ready. Things are going to get so hard economically. You aren't ready for it. I'm not ready for it. That's why I'm steady in here. I'm trading. I am in here. Okay, I'm getting ready to hunt and do all kinds of shit in the fall. I'm ready. And I got millions. I'm not ready. So you're going to talk to me? Oh yeah, I got a funded account. I'm ready. You ain't ready. You are not ready. You got to constantly be working. But don't lose sight. Don't get stupid. Don't get in here and start making crazy bets because you want to see a windfall victory. That stuff isn't time for that. This is getting your ends meet. Getting your ends to meet every single week, every single month. Not worrying about it, because I can tell you something. Scared money makes no money. If you're scared shitless, because you're probably going to lose your job. Your spouse is about ready to lose their job. Your car went up and you can't afford no $55,000 for a fucking Tacoma that's overpriced. Everything's overpriced. The limited Highlander I just replaced my 19 with, $68,000. That truck should not be $68,000. Everything's jacked up. Everything. Just because I'm ICT doesn't mean I'm exempt. I got to pay shit that's exorbitant just like anybody else does. But are you in a position where you can just go out there and just dip in? Here you go. Here's $68,000 for a new Highlander. Here's $62,000 for a Rubicon. Here's $55,000 for a Tacoma for your son. No, I didn't pay cash for that one though. But it is what it is. It still costs $55,000, right? They're in my ass for $55,000. If my son don't pay it, I got to pay for it, right? So that's an end that has to be met. So I got my thumb on my son pressing. Your ass is going to be working towards getting that bill met every single month. So now he has what? He has a fire under his ass. That's what has to happen sometimes. And when I talk to you, not all of you need these types of discussions. I am aware of that. But I have the young folks in mind because they tend to feel like everything is expected just to be given to them, and I'm reminding them that nobody owes you shit. You work for it. And if you don't work for it, you don't fucking get it. And nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you when you can't make ends meet and you didn't get yourself prepared when things get really hard. When things get really hard, these markets are going to go all over the place. And if you're not prepared to be in them, you're without. And if you're without a job, or if you have new financial restrictions placed on you because now you went from 2 incomes to 1, how do you think you're going to be able to trade under that pressure? You're not. You're going to be scared shitless. You're going to be fearful, afraid to push the button, or do reckless trades because you're going to be waiting too long for confirmation. It already moved. And then when you put the trade on, it still might work in your favor, but it starts pulling back and have a natural retracement, and you're afraid. And you get out. And it still goes in your favor if you would have stayed in. That's what scared money does. So that's why I'm telling you, in this series, I really am pushing hard for you to have a very low threshold objective. Something that's so easy, and let money management and the Compound interest do all the heavy lifting. You don't ever have to do anything more than just 5 handles in the index market. You don't have to do anything more than 25 pips a week. The money grows, and as it grows, you carry more leverage. The risk doesn't grow in exponential fashion. The monetary association to the equity will, obviously, because that goes with the game. The more money you make, if you're risking 1% of that account and the account is growing, that 1% will grow exponentially too. But you can't understand the effects of that if you try to rush through it. Just because you can get lucky and do over leveraged trades and you get this new equity high, all of you out there saying, oh, I want to get a $500,000 funded account. The fuck you do? You don't have any idea how to trade a $10,000 account right now. You can't even manage that risk. You're talking about you want $500,000 in a funded account. You want to be able to trade with $500,000 leverage. You're gonna die. You're literally gonna blow your brains out. More money is not how you fix this. It's more experience, growing gradually. I'm fucking telling you, you are not gonna do a $500,000 funded account and do well. If you think you're just gonna go up there, pass the challenge and get that, on your first go, you ain't been trading for a year or 2 or 3, you think you're just going to go out there and do that? I'm telling you, don't think like that. You're doing it wrong. What's the lowest funded account? Go that route. Trade with that, build that up. Because if you can't build that $10,000 or $20,000 leverage funded account up to a $500,000 account in 2 years, guess what? You sure as fuck wouldn't have done anything with that $500,000 account. You're not prepared for it. You have no idea what it feels like to be in those types of trades. That's why you see everybody, they put their little certificate up, said, I got funded. And then 2 weeks later, I blew it. I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking to you. Eye to eye. You're doing what I'm telling you what not to do. And so many of you are in line to do the same bullshit and hurt yourself and prolong this whole process. What's the lowest hanging fruit objective? Do. And as the money grows, more money will be allocated to each trade. The percentage of risk is not increasing. That stays constant. And as the equity grows, the results will grow comparably. And you don't get sucked into this, I have to do it right now. I got to have it all right now. No, you don't, because you're not prepared for it mentally, psychologically. You can't handle it. You can't. You cannot handle that type of success. When a winning trade like that gets put on, you're not going to be able to sleep. You'll be out of the trade. I'm telling you, like no doze. You ain't sleeping. Like a crack fiend, okay? Scratching yourself. Like that Dave Chappelle meme. You want another hit. You want a little bump. Because it's exciting. And I've had that happen so many times. And it's demoralizing when you realize that's what it was. And that's what you're creating. You're creating that habitual drug usage feeling in your trading. That's not how people do it that are doing this for their lifetime. Career traders are not looking for that bump. They're working their business. They're running their business. They're managing their business. It's not casino time to them. They're going in with the intended purpose. They're not winging it. They're not being influenced by other people. They're not telling them it's not good enough. They don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. They're doing what needs to be done for them, because every one of us has a unique threshold for pain and pleasure. Some of you are a little bit kinkier than I am. In trading, you have to know where your thresholds are. And if you start stretching yourself outside those boundaries, which you're going to learn as soon as you start trading with live funds, you're going to see how hard it is to hold on to a winning trade. But it's easy to hold on to a losing trade. Why is that? You don't want to submit to a loss. But you really want to get out of that winning trade because you think it's the only one that's ever going to happen to you. You found the unicorn, and you want to make sure you have evidence, and you want to bring it back and show it to your friends and family, your coworkers, your boss. Ha! Look at this fucker. You said I wasn't ever going to make any money. Look at this. Stick that up your ass. That's what you want. So what are you trading for? Outward validation. Professional traders don't give a shit what anybody else thinks about them, or their trading, or their abilities, or their model, or how little their threshold is that they go for every time they put a trade on. See, in the beginning, you have to have that structure. You have to have that limit placed on you. They're training wheels. And don't let anybody tell you that they're not useful or needed, because they are. Why else is everybody else blown out? Because they have no structure, no limitations placed on themselves. It's 2% risk, no stop. Let's go. And I have no limits on how many times I can take a trade. If I take a loss, I'm going to go back in again because I have enough equity, and I'll keep doing it until I can't, because I know eventually I'm going to get a winning trade. Not taking in consideration that they have no structure. They have no low-hanging threshold to make ends meet. So just going in to throw the dice and see if they get a win, because they know in their mind they're going to go in and manage that winning trade correctly now after taking 5 losing trades in the same day. The fuck you are. Folks, I'm telling you, these are things I did. Not just once, dozens of times. And you got to know that you're not going to be exempt from it. And believe me, this might be an uncomfortable conversation that you don't want to be listening to. You want to get to the part where it feels good. That ain't got kind of serious, folks. This is where the rubber meets the road. I already taught you how to trade. Now I'm telling you how to survive. Because having that 50 caliber Barrett, you could still hurt yourself. There's a whole lot of people out there that buy all the next best things and gadgets and things, and they still are useless because they haven't properly been trained. Your intelligence as a trader, just because you now know this model and you know what it looks like and how to find them, your intelligence as a trader is infantile right now. You're still an infant. You're a baby. And that's not a knock against you. You have to be aware of that. And you have to take baby steps. And then you start moving towards where you're walking a little bit more efficiently without anybody holding your hand. And then eventually you'll get stronger and more coordinated. And then you can run. And then you become an adult. And you have all that adult muscle and capability and stability and agility, all those things that lead towards you are able to do things that a small child can't. And right now, as a small infant in your understanding about the markets and your personal experience, you can't grasp the importance or the weight of the things I'm talking about right now because you haven't endured it yet. But once you do, these types of lessons mean much more.